Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chase on Two Wheels here at Mountain Motorsports in Roswell. In front of us, we have what is most likely going to be the most expensive motorcycle I have ever done a first ride on. In front of us, my friends, we have a 2021 Ducati Superleggera V4. This is number 229 of 500. There are only 500 of these in the entire planet. The owner of Mountain Motorsports purchased with this and has been gracious enough to let me do one of the first rides on the bike. I, no lie, am more nervous for a first ride than I've ever been in my life. If you guys don't know, this is a Superleggera V4. Essentially, Ducati did every single thing possible to lighten it, hence all of the carbon fibers. So, without further ado, the more I sit here, the more I talk, I'm going to get more nervous. We've got to get this first ride going. You guys, drop the biggest like down below for the most expensive motorcycle first ride I've ever done. Without further ado, guys, I can't even talk. Let's get it going. Alright guys, that's what she looks like, that's what she sounds like. Now, you guys know, our camera car that we use costs some cash. So, we're going to pay some bills, and I'm going to talk about Simply Safe's ad spot for a second. And after that, it begins. What's going on, guys? This episode of First Rides is brought to you by Simply Safe. For you guys that don't know, Simply Safe is the incredibly effective home security system that'll keep... For Simply Safe? Yes, I'm obviously doing an ad for Simply Safe.
I love Simply Safe.
Do you even have Simply Safe?
Yeah, I got it in my home. You know, I was feeling worried about safety, and I kept putting off dealing with it, and I just couldn't wait another minute.
Are you talking about the same Simply Safe that makes it incredibly easy to secure your home?
Yeah, you just order online or over the phone, and...
Isn't that the one that they deliver right to your door?
Yeah, you can set it up yourself in under an hour.
Oh, right, and from there it's professionally monitored 24/7.
Yeah, if anything happens, they'll make sure the police get called.
Yeah, they've got sensors to cover every window, room, and door, plus they got lots of extras like water sensors, temperature sensors, and HD cameras. It's all really easy to use, and you get around-the-clock protection for just 50 cents a day, and there's no contracts. They've even won the U.S. News and World Report's Best Overall Home Security for 2020. Now, guys, when I moved into the shop, I knew that I would not feel safe going home and leaving all my expensive equipment up here. So Simply Safe was super important to get set up here in the shop. Now, when it comes to the setup process, this thing could not get easier. You first just stick your keypad on the wall, you plug your base station in, and then it's literally as easy as plugging your devices up where you want them and then ripping out the little battery tab. You connect it to your keypad, boom, device installed. It's super simple. For the shop, we've got a few key pieces of security. First up, here in the front of the shop, we have a glass break sensor, motion sensor, entry sensor, and there's another motion sensor here in the shop area. but I'm not going to tell you where that one is. So one of the really cool things about how easy to use the SimpliSafe stuff is when this thing, if there's ever an error, it'll actually glow red, and when it's functioning, boom, protected. So guys, if you guys are in the market for a very easy to use and effective, reliable home security system, you guys check out SimpliSafe with my code simplisafe.com/chase. That's simplisafe.com/chase. Any of you guys that check that out, massively appreciate it, because if you didn't, I wouldn't be able to afford to have a camera car, and then none of us would get to look at the cool motorcycles that we're about to see. Let's do the first ride. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are done with the ads. Nice job. High five to you. You are helping me keep creating the content that I am by watching the ads. I love you guys long time. Please make sure to support the people and companies that support me so I can make more cool videos for you guys. Okay, let's get her cranked up. Dude, I ain't even taking off the sticker. We got our Olin's up front. We got... There's no more expensive stuff that you can put on a motorcycle. Let's check out the modes real quick. You guys know we start in rain mode. Oh, I gotta hold for the modes. My B. Holding. We have Sport, Race B, Race A. Oh, that's cool. Engine high, engine medium, engine low. Bro, I'm in engine low mode. Honestly, guys, I don't know if I'm gonna take this thing out of Sport just for the safety aspect. All right, let's talk about height. We are on a slightly higher motorcycle. It is slightly raining. Okay, cool. My legs are about halfway bent. I cannot flat foot this motorcycle at all. And that's what it is. Let's get this thing going. I'm going to get more nervous as I sit here with the kickstand down. Perfect. The rain's got me nervous. The kickstand's down. It's a $100,000 motorcycle. There's only 500. My googly goodness, man. What at all could happen with taking out a $100,000 motorcycle in the rain? There's no problem with that at all. All right, let's do this thing. Ugh. We are here. It is raining and we are stopping, baby. My God. 2021 Superleggera, baby. Woohoo! All right, guys. My goodness, a V4 with an acro is hard to beat. So guys, we're here on the 20th. I cannot imagine, I cannot believe I am where I am right now riding what I'm riding. We are on a 2021 Ducati Superleggera V4. The V4 platform for these Panigales. I've told you guys, I love the power output. I love the way it's delivered. But we're in the race bike, so has it been, what's been done to it? Let's talk about body position real quick. I'm leaned relatively forward. It's not the most forward I've ever been. It's not like the CBR was or anything. Do we have a down blipper? Of course we do. Of course we do. We have everything. So I'm not as leaned forward as I was in the CBR RRSP. But you are definitely in an aggressive body position. My legs are tucked up. You know, I'm sitting up and like leaned way forward. But as far as body positions for super sports go, it's not that bad at all. Like, I feel raced up, but I feel like race comfortable. Like, was it dressy casual? Like the opposite of that. Everything feels, it's interesting. I feel like this bike feels more raw than the regular V4 for some reason. I feel like the regular V4 felt more plush, but this thing just feels raw and ready to go. We don't have electronic suspension here. We have adjustable suspension. You can see preload plus that way. This bike is just made for a track. God, and it sounds like it, my guy. My goodness. I can happily say the throttle response, you know, we are in sport mode. If I remember correctly, the regular Panigale has a lower mode, and granted, you can customize all of these modes if you want. The regular Panigale, if I remember correctly, has modes for like rain mode or something like that. I believe it might be called street, but we don't have that here. We just have 2 race custom modes and a sport mode, which it you know, it goes with the vibe of like, look man, this is a race bike. This is a race bike that's somehow available to be ridden on the street, and so it has lights and a license plate. That's what this bike is, and it costs that. It's $100,000. I think 110 or something like that technically. When I say that the bike feels less refined, I think that's why. Like, things just feel like, look, I'm here to do my job well and to be light. That's all I'm here for. Whereas I feel like the regular Panigale, the V4, has a little bit of plushness, a little added plushness to it. Do we have adjustable levers? I would assume we do, right? That one is, this one is as well. Whoa, oh, that's cool. All right, we're not gonna mess with it too much. So the clutch lever is not adjustable. The brake lever looks like it's adjustable, so that's cool. You guys have seen the menus before on Panigales. We've got the exact same menu here. I think the Panigale menu, and the same for the Street Fighter as well, I think those are some of the best menus on bikes, at least in my personal opinion. I think it does a really good job of simply showing you a complex amount of information. So I'm here for that, man. I think Ducati really knocked it out of the park with the Panigales, and getting this opportunity to ride this thing is just next level. Oh my goodness. The one thing that, if you guys got the opportunity to ride this, that you'd understand is the weight is just, it's strange. It's strange how light this bike is. I'm interested to get on the highway and get going at speed and see how the bike feels when we've got a lot of wind. Because, you know, realistically, this bike is made for track day use. So you're going to be riding really fast in it, and I wonder, is the bike maybe too light to go at speed, you know? We'll find that out on the highway portion up here in a minute. But that's kind of something that's floating around in my head. So the cool thing is, the regular V4 is one of those motorcycles that has a lot of power, but it gives you that power in a very manageable way. And I imagine if you were to put this bike into a race mode or something like that, it would not do that. But I think if we keep it in sport, it should be a manageable power delivery, even though we are on such a light package. That's my hope, at least. So the engine braking, I currently have it set to be relatively light. I just don't want anything really intrusive with this ride right now. But that kind of stuff, like, you can change all of that. You can change your wheelie control, your slide control. This bike feels as light as my WR. I have a WR 250, a lot of you guys know that. This bike feels as light as that motorcycle, and it's like a little supermoto. I mean, I guess if you make everything out of carbon fiber, you can do that, I guess. There is a very effortless feel in maneuvering this bike left and right. I don't know if that comes across in the video, but it takes no weight, no energy at all to throw this thing left and right. It is shocking. Let's get behind that Jaguar and see if they'll go quick. Woohoo! Those brakes do not take a lot. God almighty. All-wheel drive R. There we go. As far as the gears, if you're in first gear and you push down, you get that little mushy half click. Very cool. I prefer that. My worst case scenario is when there's nothing. Let's To hell with the gears, my guy. Just go. Right now in sport mode, super manageable power delivery. I am digging the hell out of it. It's not like really streetable, but like knowing how much power this thing has, and this is in the low mode, it makes it so rideable. I will put the bike in race B. I will not put it in any higher than that. ABS is front only. Oh goodness. Okay, well, I love that they have information telling me that. Oh my goodness. So guys, we're here for the highway test. And by popular demand, I will be blurring out the speedometer for safety purposes. Here we go. 2001 Ducati Superleggera in race B mode with ABS on the front only. And just to be clear, we are doing this in Mexico. This is the border, and we are now in Mexico. Yay, we're here. All right, we're gonna get on over safely. We're in race B mode. This thing, oh my God, it revs to 16,000? That's a lot. That's a lot! Okay, I'm done. I'm done in fifth. I do not wish to go any faster than that. Okay. Okay, so I don't know. That is in race B with power at medium. This is one of those motorcycles that you are accelerating so fast, but for some reason it does not feel like you were accelerating that fast. I'm watching the speedometer and I'm judging how I'm feeling at the same time, and it does not feel that fast. And then I look down and I'm going ungodly amounts of speed. The bike still feels really light, but I don't feel pushed around at all. Like, I feel like I'm going in a straight line, and maybe that's what those big winglets are doing, you know? Maybe that allows the bike to be super light, but when you're up at speed, those winglets are holding you down, making you way more stable, because I would not have expected to feel this stable on this motorcycle going whatever that speed is, like 80, 90, something like that. This feels great. Honestly, I can tuck in. I've got no wind on me right now. Whew, my goodness. Okay, we are done with the highway. We live to fight another day. That's exciting. I'm excited to see what it feels like on our turn too, man. So far, the highway test is strange. Like, how do you have that much stability on a bike that weighs nothing? Like, when we're on city streets, it weighs nothing. I can feel that. Then you get here and it's fine. All right, we are on a Super Sport. Bro, oh my God, rails. We are on rails, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is what the bike's all about. I tell you guys all the time, honestly, I'm not a good enough rider to understand transmissions and suspensions and stuff. But the one thing I do know, yeah, when I'm on a really good setup with suspension and I hit that turn, there is just this really locked down feeling that I get. And my God, this thing, what is it, just like Olin's, I assume? Maybe the suspension is set up for somebody at my weight or something like that. Because like what just happened on that turn is like the best case scenario for a motorcycle. I just get into the turn, I lay into it, the bike doesn't have to settle or anything. It just leans over and it's locked on. You know, I'm sure it's got a good set of tires on. I'm going to go ahead and put it back in sport mode real quick. Close throttle, and we're back. Now we have ABS everywhere. That suspension was the ideal. That was probably the best feeling a bike has ever felt in that turn, honestly. So I'm going to take a break real quick. Guys in the camera car, let me know what you guys think about the freaking Superleggera.
Hey everybody, this is my fault we're having to do it this way. I didn't put batteries in the GoPro, so we're at the shop doing our Cardo spot. I think the Superleggera is really, really awesome. I mean, the thing makes over 234 horsepower and revs to 1,700 RPMs. I mean, the thing costs over $100,000, but remarkable feat of engineering from Ducati. So, thumbs up in my book.
My turn now. I have to say something nice about the Superleggera. I don't think any motorcycle should cost $100,000. I don't care how much carbon fiber is in it. It is a fantastic machine, and it looks beautiful, and it sounds beautiful. I haven't had a chance to ride it, so I can't tell you whether or not it rides really nice or not, but not something I would ever even think to consider in my life, for me. But besides that, it's really pretty.
You know, guys, something else that's strange is this feeling of riding a V4, but it revving so high. Look at that power delivery. I will say the bike doesn't... Oh, there it is. Okay, you just gotta ride it right. I was gonna say... At first I was gonna say the bike doesn't really feel like it has a ton of torque, but I think I just wasn't riding it in the right spot. Look at the red line. It's at the very top of the rev range. What is this monstrosity? Oh my goodness. Like, I'm riding it around it in second, going 50, and I'm like at the bottom of the revs. What is life? You know, after that highway experience, I gotta say, I was kind of skeptical about all these motorcycles doing their little winglet thing, but if winglets are allowing us to have super light motorcycles that somehow feel stable at speed, then I might be totally down for winglets, man. Honestly. You add weight when it's important, and when it's not important, you know, when it's city streets and you just want maneuverability, you have it. It's a weird combo. I don't know who came up with that, but that person needs a cookie or something. Because now we're in a more city setting, and now I've got this stupidly light motorcycle. I can put it into sport mode. I've got all my settings all the way up to be as safe as possible, and the bike's super toned down and rideable. Not that you're gonna get a race bike for its rideability, but I mean, it's cool to know it has that capability, you know? I will say, side note, my right leg is getting warm. Like, warm. You know, even at low speeds, anytime the bike's leaned over, I don't know if it's just these tires, I don't know if it's the suspension, I don't know if it's the lightness of the motorcycle. Whatever the combo is doing so good. This is a true testament to Ducati, by the way. Second gear going 23 miles an hour. Look at that. I can do it one-handed. Bike is not herky-jerky. This is actually a huge deal. I don't know if a lot of you guys know. Ducatis did not used to be like this. I would never be able to do this on an older Ducati. Like, not that I have anything to do with Ducati. I've never owned one. I'm probably never going to be able to afford one. But, like, it makes me so happy to see a brand who have such... You have such a cool feeling when you ride a Ducati. But in the old days, it's like, yeah, you got that feeling, but it was on a motorcycle that couldn't be ridden. And here I am on a $100,000 raced out Ducati, and I can putter around in second gear going 20. That's pretty awesome, right? I gotta say, guys, this is such an odd first ride for me because typically in a first ride video, I pride myself on really getting a feel for the motorcycle and And, you know, thinking about the entire package itself and really being able to translate that to you guys and let you know what bike is good for what person. And typically I feel like I feel like I do a decent job about it. And then I ride something like this and I'm like, I mean, is the question that, is it a good race bike? I mean, because if that's the question, then yes, absolutely. When it leans over, it feels like it's on rails. The power is delivered in a very smooth manner, and it gives you the amount of settings to where if you want the power to be all the way up, it's there. The way the engine characteristics are now, compared to a regular V4, this bike revs way higher. And I'm assuming that's because, like, when I tell you guys that they made this bike light, I don't mean that they just put carbon fiber where plastic used to be. I mean, like, they were taking out grams in the engine by making all the components of the engine lighter as well. So I'm imagining with the engine being lighter and even the internal components of the engine being lighter, it's less mass to spin, so you can spin that mass faster. I assume that's how they're getting this bike to rev all the way to 17. It makes for a really interesting riding experience. Like on the highway, I didn't have to shift forever. Like I've never ridden a bike that has that long of a throw on the speed or on the revs, which is strange. Like, you know, typically if you're on like a more torquey bike, you shift more because the torque is just throwing your RPMs up real quickly. And then if you're on like a regular inline 4, those bikes typically rev pretty high. I'm not used to having a bike that sounds and feels torquey, but also revs really high. I don't really know how that would translate for the track use. You know, that is kind of similar to a R6, and I've done a good few track days on an R6, and I love the way the R6 feels on the track. I love having those tall gears. You know, you come out of a big turn, you got a big straight, and you can just wind that gear all the way to the end, hit that rev limiter, pop back down, or pop back to the next gear. Whoa, that's hot. So my left leg wasn't really getting that hot, but now that I'm standing here, dude, it's scorching. Whoa, what is that? The exhaust must come down over there, because holy crap. That area feels like the inside of a really hot oven. Whoa, my goodness, what is that? Bruh, something just broke in whatever you're driving. You guys ever be cooking something and you open the oven too quick and you're too close to it and you feel like you're looking at the edge of the sun or something like that? That's what my leg felt like when I just stood there and my leg got into that area and it was like, oh my God, I can't stand it. I will have to say, I don't think that's going to surprise any of you guys because Panigales are known for being super hot, but I found it. I found where the heat is, fam. Alright guys, we're going to stop up here for a second and pull into the old parking lot and take a little walk around this thing. We've seen it, but we'll see it again. You don't get many opportunities to see bikes like this, so we'll take full advantage. We'll take a good old gander, as it were. Alright boys. Listen to that dry clutch sound. I wonder if it might have a dry clutch. It is a Ducati thing. Whew! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The most expensive bike I've ever ridden. May I introduce you? Look at the carbon fiber in the freaking sunlight. Panigale Superleggera V4. Number 229. Carbon fiber wheels. These are the winglets I was talking about, guys, on the highway. I felt stable, and those things are, like, on. It ain't like a little fairing piece. Well, that fairing's on, too. Titanium exhaust. I'm pretty sure titanium is what they replace a lot of components with that need to be, like, reinforced in metal. I think that's what they replaced it with to really lighten it up. Look at the exhaust at the bottom. For one, look at the exhaust. Look at the tail. Just nothing but the license plate. I love the exhaust on the underside. This is the way to do an exhaust on a motorcycle. Now, granted, this area in the back was getting really hot. That's interesting. Well, you can see the exhaust through here, but like this area was incredibly hot. You got that titanium Öhlins right there. Probably the best suspension I've ever felt on a motorcycle. I love the single-sided swing arm. I love the exhaust. I love the red and the carbon and the white. I'm here for everything on this bike, dude. It's crazy how few of these there are. Part of this is I'm trying to make this video for you guys and tell you what it's like to ride it, but part of me, honestly, is just trying to conceptualize where I am in life right now. That I have found myself in a position to just to take this thing for a ride. Like, how many people get to do that? How many people get to just ride whatever motorcycle they want? Like, it's crazy, man. I'm super thankful. All right, guys. So I got nothing else to say. This motorcycle is incredible, and it deserves the best of photos. If you guys aren't following us over on Instagram, you really need to. It's at CTWPics. I always post my first ride photo of bikes I ride, and this might be one of the better ones. Yeah, so you guys click over there. I'll have a link in the description probably. You guys can go follow us for photos of bikes we ride and behind the scenes of videos we make. Let's get this thing going, guys. Let's finish it up. Let's bring this to a conclusion because, wow, what an opportunity. And it's got that old school, like, dry clutch sound. I am so here for everything on this motorcycle. Not for the price, but for everything else, I'm here for. All right, guys, so before we end here, I realized I didn't touch on a couple things. Let's talk about switches real quick. High quality. Ducati's got some of the best feeling switches in the game. Nothing is different here. I love the way they're laid out, and I love the way they control the information on the screen. Braking, didn't really do a lot of braking, but when I did, it is strong. We've got some serious Brimbos up front. You know you're not going to pay $100,000 for a motorcycle that doesn't have great braking. We also have ABS. Actually, the brakes have a good feel up front before they get really hard. Like, you get a progressive brake feel. Like, it's like stronger, stronger, stronger. Okay, we're going to come to a stop right now. Which is what that's exactly what I would expect. I mean, the regular Panigale has great brakes. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same brakes, but hopefully it's a little different if you're going to pay this much more. You know, guys, typically I'm like, who is this bike for? The bike is $100,000 and there are only 5 of them. Now, I don't know how many of you guys out there have a spare $100,000 and you want to do a track day with the bike that there's only 5 of. Honestly, I feel like what they're gonna do is people that buy this bike are gonna have tons of cash and they're gonna put the bike away, and you know, maybe they'll look at it as an investment. There's a super limited quantity, so the price inevitably is going to go up. I would imagine that's what most people are going to do with this bike. I don't see anybody buying it and racing it around. If there's somebody out there that makes videos on this, that takes it to a track, you guys please let us know in the comments, because I would love to see somebody, an enthusiast, that buys this and they take it to the track and they treat it like it was meant to be. They treat it as a track bike. I would give money to watch that video. There's that heat on my back leg again. The fan must blow. The fan's got to somehow blow the exhaust out the back past the shock, which is where my left leg is. It has to blow air like that somewhere, because it wasn't really there, and then out of nowhere the fan kicks on and it, like, I can feel it then. It's got to do something like that. Woo! Here we are, guys. What an experience. What an amazing opportunity to get to ride this. Guys, I don't know what else I could really say here. This is a crazy bike. Very rare. Can't imagine what it's like to own this thing, and I'm just super appreciative of the opportunity to get to ride it for you guys. And that's going to bring us into the video, guys. I'm Chaseontwowheels. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. And the biggest shout out to Mountain Motorsports for letting me borrow their 1 of 500 Ducati 2021 Ducati Superleggera V4s. I would not get to ride this bike or any of the other bikes that we ride if it wasn't for Mountain Motorsports, guys. So please do me the biggest favor. Hit that like button. Go check out Mountain Motorsports if you are in the North Georgia area. They've got 5 or so dealerships, tons of motorcycles, and you guys can sit on just about anything you want to sit on and see if that's the right bike for you. Also, if you use the link down below, you can get a discount code at Mountain with my code. So check that link out if you are actually looking into purchasing a motorcycle with Mountain. That'll save you guys some money. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Y'all ride safe. We'll see you on the next one. Later. All right, here's the question, Outro crew. If you won the lottery and you had that kind of money, would you buy this? And if you would you take it to the track? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Make sure to put OC in your comment. That stands for Outro Crew, and that's how I know the guys that make it to the end of the videos. I gotta admit, guys, I love you guys a little bit longer, and if I'm gonna be 100% honest, I am glad to be done with this first ride. This thing has been the most nerve-wracking bike. And it's not that I'm scared to ride it. It's that I'm knowing how much it costs, knowing the rarity of it. It's a little scary, you know? Riding a bike that you know there's only a certain amount of. That has caused so much anxiety the last week. But it's done. We made it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And we'll see you on the next one. Later.